Hey everyone, welcome back to MobVlog. Adam Flowers here. It is 3/24/21. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope that you guys are all having a great week and all having a lot of fun this week. So welcome back again to MobVlog. Today we have a really interesting subject and guest. Some of you are very familiar with him. So we're going to welcome back in just a moment, Red Wemette. But guys, welcome back to MobVlog. Red, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, Adam.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming back again. And it's always good to talk to you.
Redness Day.
Redness Day, that's right, on Redness Day.
Okay, I was thinking about that. I want to get coffee cups that say Redness Day.
There you go. See, there you go. That could work. Red's almost to 1,000 people on his channel. He's almost got 1,000 followers, subscribers. Over here, they're prescribers, of course, you guys know that. But Red is really close. You're like within 30 people. So go check out his channel. Be sure to share some of Red's channel around to your friends, and that's how you spell Red Wemette. It's at the bottom of the screen, just in case, and we'll throw a card up here. Oops, over here. over there in the corner. Left, right, up,
it's
down.
Over there. It's the
wow. So today we're gonna let a few more people get into the room before we get started. And get right into the meat of this, because Red, you have met in the past Sam DeStefano.
Several occasions, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about it. Brew City, George, good to see you. Luminous Grin, Tony Montana, Chain Weaver, Hughesy 67, a little dyslexia there. Kevin Jones, Brew City, Leanne rolling along, Eric Epstein. Guys, it's great to see all of you. Larson Gamer, Tony Montana. This is going to be an epic stream, and I agree with you. I think it is going to be an epic stream, Tony Montana. So, Arnett, you're in the house as well. Mahmoudi, Arnett Mahmoudi, I think. Chad Weismer. Hello, JS, Space Monkey. Everybody's loading in. We're going to talk about Mad Sam in just about a minute or two here. We're going to let a few more people get in, but we don't want to miss out. As you guys are coming in, though, into the room, before we get all into this, Patrick O'Neill, hello. Christopher Espinel? Yeah, I think so. American Gangster, Chuck Painter. Hey, guys. I don't know if you watched every one of these mob vlogs, but Bringing Down Collada. This is a book written by David Bowman. I interviewed David. He was on MobVlog. We did an interview. He talked all about how he stole $100,000 from Frank Collada in drugs, and then went out on the run and ended up sitting with his friend plotting Tony Spilotro and Frank Collada's murder. And I mean, the story is incredible. They went across the country doing, some of the stolen
cocaine.
Exactly. And so anyway, they plotted to kill him. and then
It's
they
a
came
good
back
story.
to Vegas. It's a crazy story. It's a really crazy story, and you guys can get this. You guys can get this book at Coastal West Publishing. So we're gonna throw a link in the description and also in the chats over here. Coastalwest.ca. Coastalwest.ca. You guys can pick up this book. It's a really good read. I read it in about, I'm gonna say, 3 hours, 4 hours. It was a
It's an
fast
easy
read.
read like mine. It's
It
an
was
easy
really-
read like mine.
It's a really cool, yeah, very quick read. Gina McKenna, happy Redness Day to you as well. And and we're getting up there. We have almost 60 people in here right now. We're going to get to questions here in a little bit, actually, after we talk about Sam DeStefano. And I think that's how we're pronouncing it here, DeStefano, not DiStefano. We voted
That's
on
the
that
proper
last.
way. Everybody
Yeah,
slaughtered
DiStefano. Exactly. And so DiStefano. I've heard it Tony Spilotro. Okay, I've heard people butcher all kinds of stuff, but
Spilotro.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I butchered up plenty of names. Okay, I butchered my fair share. If I had a meat market, I'd be a millionaire. Right, the way I butchered names. So anyway,
I'd like to make a list of the ones you apologize for.
I know, right? I'd be sitting here for a year if I had to apologize to all of them. Smash the like button, guys. If you're just coming in, hit the like button, get the video shared out there. Frank's Cookbook. I gotta say, I've been a little thick in the hips lately because I've been eating a lot of the food out of this cookbook. A lot of pizza. There's pizza recipes in here. There's easy Italian stew. There's a whole lot of really meatball, Parmesan bake. All of these in the full color photos, of course, with all of these recipes that Frank Collada put together, including the upper crust pizza. We did an episode on that where we made the pizza just like it. Anyway, so this is also available in case you haven't, in case you guys didn't know that it was available right now. You can go to Amazon, and we'll also put a link in the description. You can click it, and you'll be able to buy a copy of Frank Collada's cookbook. So those will be available, guys. All right, so we have some people in here. Hit the like button, guys. Video out there, and we're going to get into the meat of things. You guys brought your questions because Red brought some stories, and I did my fair share of research. Okay, this is research right here. All right,
That's the best picture of Sam I ever saw.
No, it is. You can't find that picture.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, it's a great picture of him. And Tony Dark wrote this book. Whoever Tony Dark is, you did a great job compiling a lot of information about Mad Sam. I know police reports, prison records, all kinds of records, newspaper articles.
Sam did a lot of time in prison. Sam did a lot of time in prison. He was
declared,
in and out.
Well, yeah, he was declared. They said he was mentally retarded. Back in the records anyway, that in one of his first jaunts in prison, they did a psych evaluation and an IQ test and said that he was not with it.
That's to say the least.
Frank said the same thing. Frank said that the guy wasn't, he wasn't right. Frank even said, I asked him once, I said, and it's in the videos somewhere here, if you guys go back and watch the Coffee with Colladas, Frank said, Mad Sam, I asked him, was he a Satanist? Was he a Satanist? And Frank said, what? A Satanist? I said, yeah, like a Satanist, worship Satan. He says, no, he was Satan. He said, all you see, pupil. He said, it's all black. That's how Frank
Grimaldi said on the witness stand that he actually got on the floor in the basement in front of his altar, his satanic altar, and rolled and said, I'm your servant. I'll do anything for you, Satan. Now, and he was frothing at the mouth. He's rolling all over on the floor. He said that in court.
Wow. So you met Sam. First time. Tell us about it.
It wasn't really a meeting. The first time I saw him, I didn't know who he was. But he was out at Hanson's place, and Beverly Hanson, Ken Hanson's wife, said, that man is evil. And she said, I hate it when he points his finger at me. When he points his finger in my face and stuff like that. And I heard his name, because we talked about him. But I really didn't go up and shake hands with the guy or anything like that. I saw him out there leaning up against the fence post, watching the horses, watching other animals in the mud and stuff like that. But I really didn't meet him then. I really didn't meet him at that time. But that was the first time I saw him.
Okay, when you saw him there, the animals and the horses and all, did this guy, is he compassionate towards the animals at all? Did you see anything like that?
No.
Was he mean towards them?
Sam had he had an idea that he could build a pig pen out by one of the farms. And then he could throw people to the hogs and let the hogs eat them up, kind of like Hannibal Lecter.
Or like
he had that idea way back when.
Or like that Carol Baskin. With the tigers. Never mind, Red.
Yeah, tigers.
All right, never mind. You're
right. Yeah.
So.
Well, that's. I mean, nobody really knows what happened.
So he would drive around though, and he was more or less looking for places where he could put up a pig pen somewhere. And so.
Well, he went out to. That was in Willow Springs.
Okay.
Or Palos Hills. They were right next door to each other. It was unincorporated Cook County. But he was out there, he's looking at it and thinking about actually having somebody else tend his hog farm.
Wow. And he was going to feed
just
them
most people there
cheaply, is what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So, second time you met Sam.
The first time I really met Sam was, and I think I'm the only person alive that ever walked out of his basement. Was I did a bedtime story on. Sam was he was at his home, but I got called by Ken Hansen, and I didn't know what it was about at all. And he said, "Come pick me up." And I said, "Sure." Now Kurt had told me to help him out and drive him around, so I did. And I left my car at his place, and I took the Oldsmobile that he had. And I drove it into Chicago. It was a long drive, going in. But I asked him where we were going, and he never said a name. He just gave me turn here, turn there directions. And we got to this house. And I believe it was on Winona, if I'm not. No, it was on Sarah or Winona. I forget. It was in the city. And we pulled into the garage. It was electric garage door. And we pulled into the garage, and there was a man waiting there. And he had his dog in the car, an Asumi, a Doberman, large Doberman. And we got out of the car and left the dog in the car and started walking in. Hansen went in front of me, and I walked in behind him. As we were walking through the kitchen, Anita was there, his wife. And she's a real nice woman, very nice woman. And she was cooking. She had this big pot of Italian sauce that she was making for something. And she had fresh bread. And so she broke off some bread and she said, "Would you like some tomato bread?" She dipped it in. And I said, "Thank you." That was good too. Really good. She was a good cook.
Well, you ate tomato bread over at Sam DeStefano's house is what you're saying?
Yes.
You know what happened to William Romer, right?
This was right after Anita was cooking.
Just saying.
Yeah, no, his Schweihs coffee. I know.
How did that tomato bread taste exactly? Was it bitter?
No.
I'm just kidding with you, Red.
Okay. I know.
So anyway, sorry, she gave you the tomato bread. You guys started heading downstairs?
Well, he started right off the kitchen was the stairs to go down to the basement. So he started walking down the basement, Hansen, and I followed him. We get down these stairs in the basement, and I don't know, a lot of people don't understand that basement. That basement, I think that place was built in the 50s when a lot of people had the fear of bomb shelters. They were building bomb shelters. They're afraid of nuclear attack or something like that. But it was really, really soundproof. I mean, it was like the acoustics in it, it was like being in a studio. So at any rate, there was a table that was set up with a tablecloth, and there were chairs at the table. And before you pass this like couch or low seat, and Hanson went right to the table. I was told to sit in the low seat or couch, whatever you want to call it. It was a small couch. And so I sat there, and these two big guys are there. Sam never did anything alone. He wasn't a tough guy. He had tough guys hold people. Oh, he did it to him. But anyway, he comes down the steps in about maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And I didn't know it was his house. I didn't know anything about this. And all of a sudden, when I saw him coming down the steps, he was in his pajamas and his robe, which was normal for him. And he sat down across from Ken Hansen. And he said, you know why you're here, Kenny. You know why you're here. And he said, no, Sam. Real passive voice. He says, no, Sam, why am I here? And he said, Kenny, you know why you're here. And what had happened was Kurt Hansen had killed one of Sam's collectors. And it was out by his whorehouse at 95th and Keene. But at any rate, instead of calling in Kurt, he called in him. And so they went through a thing where they were going back and forth, and Sam got outrageous. He was frothing at the mouth, and he jumps up and starts saying terrible things. And Hansen just listened. Anytime he was asked something, he just answered him. And so he told him he was a dead man. He said, you're a dead man. You know you're a dead man. He said, well, you know, he had a kind of passive look. And so he said, what do you got to tell me? What do you got to tell me? You know why you're here. Tell me about it. He said, Sam, I don't know why I'm here. And he said, well, you're dead. And so he said, you're never walking out of here alive. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, what did I get into? I didn't belong. Just because I drove them there. They're not going to leave a witness. You know? Yeah. So at any rate, long and short was that he raged at him for maybe 15 minutes. And Hansen he had his head down like this, and he was real passive, very passive. And he said, Sam, can you do me a favor? And he said, Kenny, I'm going to kill you. And you want me to do you a favor? Are you nuts? Are you crazy? And so he went raving on and on. He just kept his head down and listened to him. And finally, he said, what do you want from me? What do you fucking want from me? And he said, Sam, when I'm gone, would you take care of my dog? She's up in the car. All of a sudden, he went into a rage. He says, get out of here. Well, that was my cue. I was halfway up the steps. When he said, get out of here, Hansen was about maybe, I'd say, 30 feet behind me. So I was on my door, on the way out the door. When I was going through the kitchen on my way out, Anita turned around and says, would you like some more tomato bread? And I said, no, thanks. I was out in the car.
I wouldn't have stopped for the tomato bread either. Wow.
All right. I want to do is get out of the driveway. Get in the car, get it started, and get out of the driveway.
So was that and now you said that while you were in his basement, you said there was an altar, a satanic altar?
I had a lot of time to sit around. I just told you. I had a lot of time to sit around and kind of, take in everything around me. Yeah. There was a table set up with a black tablecloth on it. Yeah. And it was an altar. It had candles on it. It had a mortar and pedestal. Had a satanic sign on our symbol.
Like a pentagram or?
Yeah. Okay. On the wall. And there was some kind of cloth across the back of the wall. I think it was black, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. I was looking at it looked like if you went into a Catholic church and you see the, what do they call it, Adam?
The altar?
No, the altar. you know how they have white and the white cloth that comes down in front of it, and then they have different things set up on top of it? It looked like that, except it was black. It wasn't white.
Okay.
And the floor was all tiled. And one thing I did notice was there was a 3-inch drain in the center of the floor, and everything was pitched towards the drain. That way you could hose it off.
And that's not the first time that's happened. Out here in Vegas, there's a place called La Palazzo, which was supposedly a mobster's house back in the day. And in the center of the house, they found a torture chamber. Same thing. And it had a shower, all tiled. Everything went down to the center. And I know they said it was a mobster, an associate owned it. But I also know that Zach Bagans did an episode on Ghost Adventures where they went in there and talked about the whole thing and went to where it was, and so did an episode about it anyway. Interesting though that it was a mobster that owned it out here. Anyway,
he was a very unique person. Mm-hmm. I never took him as being wrapped tight. I always thought of him as insane. I mean, really, a nickname, Mad Sam. But I think he was bipolar, totally insane. He'd go off into these rages. I mean, they just... Him and Larry Neuman should have known each other.
Well, I mean, look, first off, I'm sorry, before we go any further, though, is that the only two, or those the two bump-ins that you had, or did you have any other bump-ins with Sam?
I saw him several times, downtown, different places. One of the things I got a kick out of, this is not me bumping into him. One of the things I got a kick out of was during the trial, I became a mole for the FBI in August of '71. And my contact agent was John Osborne. But during this trial of Tony Spilotro, Grimaldi, and I think it was about the Leo Foreman trial. I'm not sure. But anyway, during the trial, John Osborne was in the elevator, and they were going down. And Grimaldi was in the elevator. I don't know how they had them all in the same elevator, because he was just a witness. But anyway, Sam was, according to John, he called me right afterwards. He was laughing. In the elevator going down, he looked like an attorney. He had an attaché case, 3-piece suit, and he's going down. And Sam was in the elevator, and Grimaldi was there. There were several people in the elevator. And Sam's going like this. Yep, I'm going fishing. I'm going fishing. And you're going to be the bait. John didn't do anything until the elevator stopped. They got out of the elevator, and he arrested him and took him back upstairs. Wow. And shortly after that is when the plan came to kill him. Mm-hmm. And Mario, I don't know who gave the order or anything like that, but Mario and Tony went and did the job. They were both on trial with him. Mario got convicted. Tony walked.
So supposedly, though, Tony is the one who was holding the gun, right? The shotgun?
Oh, when they killed him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he came up. He was, Tony was a little guy, and he was behind Mario. Mm-hmm. And
Mario stepped to the
side. They had called him up and told him, "We found Grimaldi. We know where they're hiding him." Mm-hmm. And he said, "Oh man, let's go get him," because it was a continuous, one of those kind of things. Yeah. So he would testify in court, and they pulled up by the garage, and I guess Mario was walking towards him, and then he stepped out of the way, and there was Tony with the shotgun, side by side, double barrel. I guess the first shot didn't kill him, but the second shot was dead center.
Tore off his left arm with the shotgun.
I believe it was only like from the elbow down.
Oh, okay.
Sam had put his hand up like this, to kind of stop it. So it got, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. All right. The outfit order to whack Mad Sam came from Tony Accardo, is what Outfit Boss is saying.
I think it came from Giancana.
Mm-hmm.
That's a guess on my part.
But think about this. So he his younger brother, Michael, is dealing drugs or getting hooked up with dope. So Sam...
That was way back in 1952.
Yeah, so Sam asks if he can get rid of his brother and whack him. This way that he doesn't, shoot him in the face, or so his mom can't have an open casket funerals. But he does it the right way and then washes his body as a symbolic cleansing of his brother's, and then mom can have an open casket.
Like a satanic priest.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah, see what I mean? And then they puts him in a trunk and takes him somewhere where he'll be found quickly.
3 hours they found him.
Yes, and if you don't, and I understand, if you don't find him soon, they start making trunk music, and the trunk music's the popping and hissing, and the gases leaving the body, and the weird noises and smells that it makes. From what I understand, anyways, that's what it is.
That's what every time they popped the trunk when I was there, I was at one trunk popping, and when they opened it, it was real funny. It was a Cook County cop that was there and a state policeman that was there. Mm-hmm. And they called for other units before they opened the trunk. And then they got a tire iron, like you jack up your car with, and took the other side of it and they popped the trunk. And they all had on handkerchiefs. They put them over their mouths before they even did. Some guys would used to take cigarette butts and put them in or cigarette filters and put them in their nose. Yeah. And they popped it open. Wow.
Another thing's the Bengay. You can rub the Bengay under there, and that helps get rid of the smell. Camphor. A lot of police officers use camphor. They keep a small little thing of camphor. Yeah, or you just grow a really strong stomach and man up, and you walk in and you take the smell.
I'm not man enough.
Okay, that's what you do.
I'm not man enough.
I did a quick a tour of Cook County morgue once, actually twice. I did the tour when I was working for the city in Calumet City, and we took the bodies to the morgue. And anyway, I took the tour of it, and that stink, it stays in your nose for like 24 hours at least.
You got to get a shower. It's in your...
No, they're dust mites. The dust mites get up into your nose, and they stay there, and it's just a matter of time for them to leave.
Did you ever go into the stink room there?
And where?
In the Cook County morgue, what they call the stink room.
The stink room? Like smell room?
No, it was nicknamed the stink room.
Well, I could explain what
it was. A room off to the side where they had a bunch of gurneys in there.
Okay.
And the bodies were, I went in there with somebody, a friend brought me in there, and I was like really freaked out because he turned around and said to me after I was in there, I said, what are all these people doing in here? I mean, how come they're not, in vaults like the other ones? Mm-hmm. He said, oh, we don't know what they died of. And I was like, if ever I needed a mask, it was then. I didn't want to breathe the air.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Unknown causes, they stick them in there.
When I went in, we brought a guy in a suicide. And anyway, I said, can we get a tour of the back? It was with the new partners, walked through the back. And it was like shelves, like Sam's Club. They were high. They were 12 feet high. They were tall shelves. And the guy's like, these are the ones from this week. These are the ones from last week. And these are the ones from the week before. And the back is all the parts that we don't know what goes to where. That's what so I don't know. Anyhow, we're not done with Mad Sam just yet, because I want to ask you a couple of more questions. And did you know who Action Jackson? Did you ever meet him? Did you know who he was?
No.
Did you know? No. Okay, that was one of the worst tortures, anyways, that they did back then to someone, to make an example out of.
I remember Hanson talking about it.
Mm-hmm. But you never met Action Jackson?
No.
Or anything. Okay. No. Stephen Healy. Happy Redness Day. Wow, that's catching on, Red. I think you need Redness Day.
I need a coffee cup that says Redness Day on it.
Bill Romer wrote that it was how Spilotro's father pronounced the name, Spilotro. Stephen Healy said.
Yeah, but he talked in an Italian accent.
Okay, are you going to do an Italian accent for us?
Yeah, he spoke Italian, broken English.
So Spilotro was supposed to be pronounced Spilotro? Seems like if he said Spilotro,
We called him Tony Spilotro. SBA.
Yeah. That's how I always thought that it. That's how I always thought that it was.
Well, that's how Tony called himself. If he introduced himself, I'm Tony Spilotro.
Yeah.
He pronounced it that way. It's like people with my name.
Yeah.
I hear people call me Wemette or this or that.
Right.
We met. It's like we met.
Like you met Red. You know,
yes.
We met. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Luminous Grin. Hey, buddy. Thank you for supporting the channel. I do appreciate that, and it really is appreciated. As a matter of fact, I really appreciate a lot of you. That first off, I appreciate every one of you. Okay, let's get that down first off. Every single one of you for tuning in, for watching, for listening to this, for bringing your questions and asking and making this a little community where we can get together once, twice a week even. We'll see what happens. But I appreciate every single one of you guys, including Red, for helping me by coming on the show. And I also, though, I want to say that a couple of shout outs here, because it's not every minute that I get to thank people, but Duke of Dunhurst, Brett, I don't think you're on right now, but thank you very much because you've been on, joined the channel for 5 months. Chris Johnson, Cindy Workman, Tedford Von Patriot, Reginald Kane, Jim Knight, Mary Amarilio, Michael, Gopher Dog, Bad Apple, Greg Polly, Ted G, Chain Weaver, Brandon Kirsch, Hello Friends, Frank Smith, John Allen, Timothy Foster, and I want to say thank you to each one of you, because that was my thank you to you guys, because you guys have joined the channel. And with that, you get a little extra content, things that we post and whatnot. But anyhow, guys, hit the buttons, hit the like buttons, get the video out there. I just want to say a couple of quick thank yous. And Red, back to Sam DeStefano. No, Sam DeStefano. Wow, I almost messed that one up. Okay. I always got that. I even hear Allie laughing downstairs after I say, "Yeah, I'm getting the names down." Sam DeStefano. Back
DeStefano.
Sorry, DeStefano. I did that one on purpose. All right, just so you know. Okay, Calzone 83's in the house, and Red, who took over Mad Sam's juice loan business after he was killed?
I think it was cut up into many different people. Sam used to brag. I saw him once on Michigan Avenue, and he used to brag. He'd go to Rush Street. He'd go to different bars. But he used to brag really loud, and he'd get a crowd around him. He liked to be noticed. And he used to say, "I run all the juice from here to California, all the way to California. Anything west of the Mississippi is my money. It's my money. I put it out there for everybody. I'm the largest juice loan collector in the country."
Wow.
Whether it was true or not, I don't know.
Hey, Cindy, thank you very much for that donation right down here. Thank you. That's really appreciated. It helps us keep doing these and keeps this going. Also, check out Red's channel, guys. We'll put a link right up there in the corner, and you guys can click and check out Red. Subscribe.
I thank the people that have joined. I'm very grateful and thankful to everybody that have subscribed to me and watched the videos.
Hey, Leanne, you're very welcome. And Red, thank you for the stories.
Thank you, Leanne, for watching.
Hey, Red, is it true that Mad Sam did business with the blacks?
Yes.
Okay. So he had money out there on the street, or did he lend out to them, or did they work for him, or what happened there?
I didn't have any direct. I kind of stayed away from Sam. He wasn't my favorite person, but from what I understood, yeah, he'd front them money so they could lend it out and collect, and then give him. So
they were out there working as soldiers.
Yeah, it's like the Ponzi scheme. You know, you make more, or the pyramid. You make more of the money out. You're there.
There you go. Outfit boss, is it true that Mad Sam dealt drugs and that the outfit fed off of the profits he made? Do you know about
Sam never dealt drugs. After he murdered his brother, it was like drugs were unheard of. He didn't want them around him. He didn't want to know about it.
Okay, so...
He wanted money, juice loan. He was king of the juice loans.
Well, word is, Red, that Gianni Russo gave Mad Sam a monkey rub and told him to behave himself.
Yep. Only Johnny Russo.
Hey, Lewis, if you're watching, hello. Cindy says
hello
as well. Hey, Lewis, hope you're watching this, man. Stoner Guitarist, you get $3. You keep one, give two to me. I give you one. That's how it works. Makes complete sense to me, Red. I don't know about you.
Well, at 10% a week, that was the going rate at that time. At 10% a week, if somebody borrowed, they never make the vig. They never come up with the juice, because at 10% a week, it was like, okay, you borrow $3,000, you owe $300 that week, week. So at the end of the week, if you didn't pay it off within the first week or second week or something like that, it just grew and grew and grew, and you paid back the principal a long time ago. So the loan got repaid at maybe 50, 60 times what the principal was.
Yeah, you can't get out from under that. It's
no.
You just can't.
And these people were gamblers.
Yeah. And you know what, being a bartender in Vegas, I met some serious gamblers who, that's what they did. It was, you run out of this money, you run out of that, then it's credit cards, then it's...
and Tony was right there to loan the money.
Yeah, there you go. And the next thing you know, you can't get out. Yeah, so... Yeah. So it's speculation that Joey Iupa ordered the Mad Sam hit. That's what Outfit Boss is saying.
No, he wasn't in power then. That was... yeah, he was. He's probably right. He's probably right. It's a good speculation. I don't think it came from Ricardo. I think it came from whoever was running the street crew at the time.
Yeah, right.
In 73, it wasn't Giancana, because Giancana had left. So it would have had to have been Iupa.
Okay.
Or maybe Cerrone. I don't know.
Philip Wright said that Gianni Russo could change a $9 bill with 3 threes.
Oh, he had $3 bills to sell.
Yeah, he could break a 9 with 3 threes. Is what. All right, so Adam
Philip,
Cram
I
says,
like your sense of humor.
Adam Cram said, "Can you start a good small racket and triple your money, or so, with $30,000 cash? And do you need to have enforcers? Do you need them to sign some kind of paperwork, Red? How exactly does that work?"
No, as a matter of fact, one of his favorite sayings, when somebody said, "Don't worry, I'll pay you back," he said, "Don't worry about it. You're the collateral. You're my collateral."
Well, I heard a story, and I'll tell it again, and this came from a very, let's just say that Frank told me when he was still alive that anything that, if I was ever from whatever sources, to believe him. And this is coming straight from one of those sources about Sam, and that is that a guy was brought to his house as I don't recall exact names. It could have been Tony. I'm not certain. That brought
the police officers used to pick people up on the street, and they say, "I know Sam," and the crooked cops would bring them to his house, and he paid the police off, and then they were on juice.
Okay, so all kinds of things like that happen. Well, this guy needed a loan, so he went over to Sam's and he took him down into the basement to do the loan. And he said he wanted to borrow $500. So Sam handed him the $500 and said, "So here's how it's going to work. You're going to pay me, 20% a week. So each week you're going to come here and give me $100 until you've paid that $500 back." And the guy was like, "Wait a minute. I don't think I need the money that bad." So he handed it back to Sam, and Sam said to him, "Well, you owe me $100. And he said, "Why?" He says, "You held on to my money."
Yes.
It's crazy, but makes sense.
If you took it out of his hand, you can't change your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So, hey, Patrick O'Neill, glad that you're enjoying watching the mob vlog and hearing Red. By the way, guys, I did an interview just on Monday, and I'm almost done editing it. It's going to go up either tomorrow or Saturday, but check it at 2 p.m. That's when it's going to go up. I interviewed a former Kansas City detective named Gary Jenkins. He runs a podcast called Gangland Wire. It's ganglandwire.com. It's a really good podcast, and he talks a lot about the Kansas City mob, and he talks a lot about what was going on in Vegas and about how there were two streams of the skim that were coming to Chicago out of Vegas. It's a very, very interesting interview. So that's going to be coming up very soon as well on the channel, and I'll probably have Gary back to do a little questions and answers with you guys as well. So
Gary's he was Kansas City intelligence.
Right, he was. When he entered that, there was a big story. It was a big thing happening with the Sevillas and the Spiros, both of the brothers, all the brothers in the Spiros and the Sevillas, and it was it's very interesting what all happens with that. But anyway, we'll stick around and watch for that video. That'll be coming out pretty soon. And Gina McKenna, I agree with you. Gary does have some great videos, so be sure to check it out, guys. Hit the like button, smash the like button if you're just coming.
Gary was the first guy to interview me.
There you go. It was Red's first interview. Should chat on Jimmy Catura sometime, is what Calzone 83 says. We could.
Jimmy's a whole other story.
It is, right? We could do an entire day on Jimmy.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. So it's a pretty. He's another pretty interesting soul, say the least. Anyway, so. Okay, Patrick O'Neill, I mentioned before you two should write a movie script about the life of the Chicago mob. I'm working on something right now. As a matter of fact, Patrick, we've been working on it for several months now, and putting together movie/miniseries that's going to revolve around the outfit. It should be pretty interesting and accurate. So and sensational, of course. I mean, why not sensational? Okay, so first time, yeah, there you go. First time I heard about Red was from Gary's channel. That's it. Sad boy, we need a Larry Neuman day. I'll tell you what, guys. Larry Neuman, what do you know? I know I got a little background about Larry, Red, but what have you, did you ever meet him?
No.
Okay.
No.
I hear this guy. I mean, this guy was crazy.
I read about him in newspaper articles, and to me, he was psychotic. And Frank even said they worked in the mental part of the ward together.
Yeah, they were in the Goon Squad, where they ran into the psycho wards, and the guys would be throwing crap around at them, and all kinds of. It was just.
But Neuman, from what I understood, Neuman was in that ward. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Mentally incompetent.
Well, yeah, that was no. I didn't understand that he was actually in the ward.
That's what I understood it to be. Not from Frank.
Yeah. But
from other people that I talked to, they said he was in that ward. He was mentally incompetent.
So the guy was in there for a triple homicide, and he is doing like 111-year term or something.
And they let him out.
No, he was a trust fund. He was a trust fund baby, so he had a whole lot of money. Dad left him a ton of money. He was getting all this, so he had the money to hire a team of attorneys, top notch, and they got him out with like 3 years or something, or 4 years time and some kind of fine, and that was it. And he got set free, of course, to go out and kill more people. So.
That's what I don't like about it.
Well, it's what he did, because then he went to did the Will County murders, the double murder with the waitress, or the murder with the waitress rather.
Was it that with McHenry County?
McHenry, you're right. Yeah, McHenry. Sorry. Yeah, it's McHenry, and that was that's a whole nother. Yeah, we could do a whole day on Larry Neuman. He's out there. So, Red, This is from JS. Do you ever come across any major Chicago athletes in relation to the porn business? It's an interesting question.
No, not athletes. But I will tell you this, and I'm not naming names here. There were a lot of people that were in the news business. Like they were on ABC, CBS, and they would actually come into my store. And we just didn't recognize them. I mean, nobody said their names or anything.
Right. Christopher Espinal. Was there anything positive that Sam did? Well, he did write a letter to L.B. Johnson, to the President of the United States of America, when he got out of jail at some point. Maybe he was in jail in 1965. That's when the letter's dated.
He was in jail.
Was in jail. So Mad Sam. By the way, hit the like button, guys. If you're just coming in, smash the like button. So Mad Sam wrote a letter to the president in September of '65. And basically says in the beginning of this letter that, he wants to help the country and he wants to help Congress. So I'm just answering Christopher's question if there was any positive that Sam did. So he said that, he could help solve the crime problem in the United States of America. Simply, quote, simply sell narcotics at cost or give it away free to addicts. Dispense it from our TB stations, our health stations, which are already set up. The cost will be nil, and the savings will be in the billions, cold cash and lives, heartaches, and blood. So Sam cared about the people and really thought that, giving away free heroin to everyone would help our country come together he wants to prove his whole theory about it. He said there's 90 million people, about half of what the United States is. And do you know how many drug addicts are in England? 500. That's it. It's astounding. 500. Because I guess they give away the drugs. They gave them away in England.
Well, we started the same thing with methadone, the methadone clinics.
I guess you're right.
But
yeah,
the outfit ran
so sure.
The outfit ran the methadone clinics.
Yeah. And then here's where Sam gets kind of smart. He starts to really sound smart. And I don't know, sane. But, Mr. President, you have a great and serious, dangerous domestic problem that's destroying our nation. The problem is the Gestapo tactics of our former beloved FBI, IRS, judges, etc. are using these days. It became serious, with all due respect for our late beloved president, during Bobby Boy Kennedy's administration, and is now a nightmare in each and every civilian, young and old, throughout our land. There is no more justice and constitutional law meted out in our courtrooms, federal and state. Judges, prosecutors, FBI, IRS, etc. are tyrants. The newspapers rule them in my city and state. I believe in most states. I mean, this guy's nailing it. He's nailing it, He's nailing it.
Pretty much on the money there.
Yeah, he's nailing it. And, so I don't know. Did he do anything positive or have any kind of, he did some...
Well, he sells sugar ration stamps.
That's true.
He was counterfeiting all kinds of things.
That's funny. Okay, Big Mo. Did you guys talk about Sam kidnapping the black guy and forcing him to have sex with his wife?
That really happened.
To punish her.
That really happened. He used to beat Anita. He was a wife beater. He used to beat her up for everything. And there was something that I don't know because I didn't know their lives, but there was something that happened where she didn't comply with his wishes or something like that. So he grabbed a black guy off the street that was going to work. And he dragged him back to the house, or put him in the car, brought him back to the house. And he forced his wife and the black guy in front of him on the living room floor to have sex. And afterwards, the guy got so scared, he went to the police because he knew who Sam was. I mean, Sam made the papers a lot, but he realized that his life was in danger. the police didn't believe him. But they finally went to the house, and guess what? His lunch pail was there from going to work.
I understand it was in the car, in Sam's car. He left it in the car. And that's
I know it was recovered. It was recovered.
Yeah. It was on his property at some point. Northwest Burbs says Frank said the story about the black guy and the wife and Sam's wife was true. Yes, he did tell that story.
It was true. It was in the papers back then.
All right, Sam, Red, Homer Bryant wants to know, Frank the German, was he more dangerous than Sam DeStefano?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Frank would have broke Sam in half in 1 second. Sam was vicious, but remember, he had people holding someone when he do something to him. I think Frank Collado mentioned something about Sam DeStefano in prison. And when he came into prison, he somebody else that was there didn't give him the right clothing or something that.
He gave him pants with no pockets.
Well, they probably just, everything, it was probably old stuff.
He gave him pants with no pockets. I remember Frank saying that.
Well, they were probably cut out on the inside,
Yeah, right.
Pockets just.
Do you ever wear pants with no pockets, Red?
No.
I just recently did for the first time. It's very, very frustrating when you have no pockets to put things in. I'm just saying, okay? I'm not getting into the whole story. I'm just saying, recently I learned that pants with no pockets suck.
I don't even like shirts with no pockets. Really. Seriously.
Yeah, sure.
And when I usually shop for a shirt, I want something that has 2 pockets, one on each side.
No, okay. Yeah.
But having no, what about your wallet? What about everything else? Your change, keys, money?
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean.
You wind up with your purse.
So Sam's enforcers and backers that made him dangerous. It was his enforcers and backers, which a lot of people think Tony Spilotro was all mentored by Mad Sam, but it wasn't.
No. Milwaukee Phil mentored him, and then he was assigned to watch over Sam and make sure he got his collections. But the viciousness of Milwaukee Phil was basically what Sam picked. It was a good match. It was a good match to watch over him. And even that scene that they talked about in Casino, where this was based on the M&M murders, but the guy was placed not face up, but face down. And Tony was holding one arm. The other guy was holding the other arm. Milwaukee Phil's the actual one that turned the vice.
Okay. Jeez.
And Phil was vicious. He was very vicious.
Yeah.
So learning his vicious trade, that's a myth that I keep hearing all the time, is that he was, Sam DeStefano mentored him. No, he didn't mentor him. Tony was sharp. They sent Tony to watch him.
Okay. So Adam Cram said, I did 3 bids in the state, and you give someone no pockets, it's just disrespect when they come in. Tell someone to hold your pockets and see what happens. So I should have never said it, that I had these pants with no pockets. Luminous grin. No, they're not yoga pants. Although I know you'd like to see me in some yoga pants. They're not yoga pants, Luminous grin. Okay?
Thank you, Luminous grin.
Kissy Cat said men should carry purses. They lose everything. Kissy Cat, I disagree with you, okay? But thank you for watching the show.
Look at those.
Gina McKenna. It was Gianni Russo's idea to add pockets to pants.
Way back in the days of whatever.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
He must have been when God said, "Let there be light."
No, Gianni flipped the switch when he said,
"Oh,
Let
that's
there be
right."
light.
I forgot. Slapped me. I forgot it.
Oh man. Oh wow. Okay. So, man bag or Merce? Kevio? Neither. Okay. We're not voting on that. Outfit boss. Mad Sam met Paul Ricca in prison. Yes, I think that he did.
Yes, that's where he got the juice money. They made a deal.
Mm-hmm. So you said now the story about Frank when he saw Sam in prison.
I think that was when he was in on the sugar rations thing.
I think you're right about that. I'm pretty sure that I remember that detail. And when he came in, he was wearing these long johns, right? His long johns. And he remembers he said something like, Frank said, I don't have any veins in my legs. It's like pulled his veins out. And so he had varicose veins all up and down. So he didn't want to, he wore long johns all the time. Because I was.
Well, he came from the Cook County Jail like that.
Okay. And about not having any veins in the legs, that's like that injecting that whatever to kill off the veins so that the blood finds another.
In those days, no. In those days, what they did with varicose veins is they strip them. They pull the veins out.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just
I'm
saying.
sure his legs were scarred, and he had breathing problems and probably lack of oxygen.
Yeah, right. That's
Which makes a lot of sense to me. I'm sure he had a lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
There is one story that I can tell you that's very interesting about Sam.
Okay.
Some police officers came to arrest him. It was about the Foreman murder. And they were Chicago police. And they told, the two police officers there told me that he was sitting on the curb out in front of his house in a wife beater T-shirt, one of those things with those sleeves on them.
Tank top, yeah.
Yeah, tank top. And he was sitting out there, and he was in his gray pants, and he had a .38 pistol. Now, he's a convicted felon. And he had a .38 pistol right on the curb, and he's sitting on the curb, and he said, "Come on, you MFs, get over here. I'm just dying to shoot one of you." And they kept talking to him, say, "Sam, calm down. We're only going to take you in. You get bond." And it lasted for like 15 minutes. But they were afraid to come across because they had no doubt in their minds that he would kill them. He would shoot them right there on the street. They knew he was nuts.
Wow. He sounds like it. Sounds like he would be. I mean, and it's kind of dysfunctional in a way. He kills his younger brother, and then
like I said, I think he was bipolar.
Other younger brother kills him.
They didn't diagnose bipolar people back then.
Just seems like a pretty messed up situation there. And that's by the way, no disrespect to any of his family that may still be around.
No. His family went hiding. They all left after he was killed.
Yeah, Louie Bynum said, "Are there any of Sam's relatives running with the mob, and were any of the relatives active in the 80s or 90s?" No. But he was just him and his brothers, but he had kids and nephews and nieces, I'm certain.
He had 5 children.
I'm positive of it, because when we went back to Chicago in October to take Frank's remains back, we went through those 2 cemeteries, and we stopped by Sam's grave, and and it just happened to be on Father's Day weekend that we were in Chicago, or it was the weekend prior to us being there. And there was fresh flowers with a little plastic stick, that said Happy Father's Day. And so there's definitely somebody there that,
Maybe his children loved him in some way. I don't know why.
Well, they had 2 sides, so there had to have been a side. You see that picture of Sam with his 2 daughters, right? Or is it his wife and his daughter kissing him on the cheeks? That's and then here, Grievous wants to know, did Sam have any sons? Well,
yes, 2.
I'm just gonna throw this out there, and I'm not. And again,
one became a law professor, and he left home when he went to college and never came back. Sam wanted to come back, he wouldn't. He went out to Denver and became a law professor at University of Colorado.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share this over here so that you guys can see this. And again, this is just, public. Anybody can go look at this, all right? And in my research for today, I did type in Sam DeStefano, and I did type it in. And when I searched images, because I wanted to see, what would come up as far as the images for Sam, I came across an image in here, and now it's going to make me look like a liar, like I'm out of
No, it's in there.
No, hold on. Let me go back to the top. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me type in. Oh my gosh, you're right. Yeah, there you go, right here. At the top of the page, it was only 5 pictures in. There's a when I typed in Sam DeStefano, it's an obituary for Sam, but I don't know. You know, it was an obituary for Sam DeStefano in Houston, is what it says down here in the corner. If you guys, can see that there, now you can see it.
I have another interesting story if you'd like to hear it, Adam.
But it sure looks like that could be maybe his son or something. But again, I'm only showing that it's public. It's sitting out there on the internet. Anybody could pull that up. But yeah, I mean, everybody has a, you know, at least these guys had families that they loved, that loved them back. And, you know.
He was very protective of his family. That's why I want to get to that story about Kurt Hansen.
Okay.
Kurt Hansen decides to date Sam DeStefano's daughter.
Okay.
So he goes over there in a white sport coat, really dressed snazzy, right? And he's got a corsage on, and or a boutonniere, whatever, and he has flowers for her. Sam meets him at the door. And Kurt told me his blood ran cold through this whole thing. But Sam met him at the door and said, I don't want any funny stuff happening with my daughter. And mind you, she was about 30 years old at the time. They never dated. His kids never got a chance to date. He didn't let them out. So he said, have her home by 10. Make sure she's home by 10. And no funny stuff. You know what I mean. Kurt said he took her out, and she said, oh, let's go here, let's go there. And he said, no, I got to get you home. He stopped, dropped her off, and then he went, and I saw him right afterwards, like maybe 2 hours afterwards. That's what he told me the story. And I said, what happened to your date? He said, it didn't work out. He said, I don't think I'll be going back there. But they used to be in business. Cy Jane, Sam DeStefano, they were in the horse meat business. They used to sell horse meat through the Jane family. Yeah.
Yeah, you told me that earlier. Yeah.
True.
No. Red said they sold horse meat as if it was beef.
They used to sell it to restaurants.
That's all right. I was bartending in a joint once, and I brought up to the cook frozen burritos. I said, man, I love frozen burritos, you know. And he's like, no, you shouldn't eat those. Some of those people, they put horse meat in them. And I said, what? He said, and they also take the cow head, and they cook the cow head and peel that meat off and put it into the
lips.
Burritos.
Anything
Dude,
to lip.
I haven't been able to eat a burrito since, okay? I haven't been able to look at one since that guy told me that. He said he worked at a place that... anyway, that's, yeah. So.
Or the time they were all out in Cy Jane's arena, and they were running around horseback, and Sam was there, and they're on horses. Horses are usually gun shy, but they're shooting their guns off in the air, riding around the arena.
Wow. It's crazy.
He was with the English brothers at the time.
Wow.
Chucky and his brother. What was his brother's name? Chuck English? Sam English? What was the other? I can't remember the other name.
Chuck and Charles and I can't remember.
Chucky was a nice guy.
Somebody will pop it up here in the comments. Chad Weismer, thank you very much for the donation there, buddy. Do you Red? Do you know who killed Helen Brock?
I certainly do. I certainly do.
Do tell.
As a matter of fact, John Rotuno brought the whole case in to the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, and they wouldn't take it. O'Malley would not take that case. They refused it. The actual murder of Helen Brock took place. Her body was in a station wagon that was pulled up into Ken Hansen's barn. And Cy Jane ordered the murder, but Vic Spilotro was there. Kurt Hansen was there. Several people were there, including Joe Plemons. And Kenny had gone to grab Joe Plemons from his apartment. and she groaned. And Kenny used to have or Kurt and Kenny both had a little shotgun. It was a 14 gauge, and it had on the side of it, it had Mother's Helper written on the side of it. It was carved into the stock. It was sawed off, though. It was a pistol grip. And he gave him the shotgun, Joe Plemons, and said, fire. And he said, I don't want to do it. And he said, either you fire at her, and he pulled a pistol out and said, or I fire at you. He actually gave her the coup de grace. After that, the reason she was never found was they brought her over to the steel mills in Indiana, East Chicago, Indiana. And they put her in a molded vat of steel. Now, that case was all proven, put together, but guess what? It never went to trial because everybody was dead. There was nobody to try.
Wow. That whole thing was put together, huh?
Oh, yeah. Rotuno quit his job over that. He said, this is bullshit.
Okay, Outfit Boss just sent a link, and here it is. I think I've seen this before, and let me make sure I share this. Share screen, share audio. That's important. Okay, so here we go. Do you see that, Red?
Yeah.
Okay, have you seen this before?
Yes.
All right, let's watch just a quick clip here.
His brother Mario.
Touch me, but don't touch my brother. I don't like it when you touch my brother.
Yeah, now that sounds a little mad, right? Just a little bit.
He was very protective of his family.
Listen a little further.
Don't look cross-eyed at my brother. Then I became what they call a raving maniac. Do I make myself clear?
Yeah, so does he make himself clear? He became a raving maniac. I just.
Well, I think he was saying that's the dual side of me. I can be decent with you people, but if you mess with my family, then I become a maniac.
Gotcha. So
that was his perception of himself.
Thank you, Outfit Boss, for sending that link in. Appreciate that. I saw that clip as well. So
I've seen it before too.
Yeah, it's
that happened during the Grimaldi trial.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that was the news footage from no, not the Grimaldi trial. Grimaldi was the chief witness against him, but it was Leo Foreman. Mm-hmm. Tony Spilotro was there and everything, and he'd go out and grab the cameras. He wanted the glory, and he'd say, "Don't mess with my brother Mario," and that's what he meant.
Gotcha. Well, he's still, you could tell from his demeanor and the way he's talking.
He was nuts.
The guy, he's. I mean, it's yeah.
I always said he was certifiably insane. He wasn't mad. I mean, that's a Mad Hatter or whatever, but he was actually insane.
Wow.
There were a few that were.
Well, I think that we're like an hour in now, so I think I just wanted to do that to show off my watch. By the way, Red, look at my cool watch.
I like that. What, your mom gave you that, didn't you?
I did. I got this watch. Yeah, it tells me it's a Galaxy View 2, and hooks to the phone. Tells me how much sleep I get. Tells me how much water I drink. Tells me what my pulse rate is. Tells me.
It also tells you every hour. It gives you a click and says, "Get up and walk."
Get up, you fat ass. Get up and walk around. It's great. Anyway, do you have Chad Weismer said thank you, Red.
Thank you, Chad.
Pete Lodato, thank you very much, man, for watching. And rest in peace, Frank. Russell's Ribs in the Burbs. That sounds good. Sounds very, very good. So, yeah. Outfit Boss, because that was my point. You can see him foaming at his mouth in that video. You could see
starting
to get...
But when he really foamed, he foamed like I mean, when he really went into a rage, it was like a lot of foam.
Yeah. Grievous, mad eyes. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. His eyes were just...
Oh, they used to bulge when he'd really get angry. His blood pressure go up.
I'm not even trying the name. Cosimo? No, there's no outfit around today. And if there was anything remaining, it's nothing like what it would have been in the 60s or 70s, even 80s. You know,
or even 90s.
Exactly. One last question. Did you ever meet Jack Cerrone?
No.
Okay, then I guess
I met his nephew that used to brag about him all the time. He worked at Barron's Lincoln Mercury.
Yeah.
That was Al Bianca.
Al Bianca. Yeah, I remember that. Chicago, Al Bianca. All right, well, hey, Red, it's been awesome again having you on. Want to come on again next Wednesday?
Redness Day, if you want it.
Redness Day? We'll do another Redness Day, okay? Maybe we'll even do a Redness Day mug. Here's a Redness Day mug. So happy Redness Day. All right, guys, anyway. I'm going to put freaking... Don't forget to go over to Red's channel, too, all right? And click the little link up here in the corner of the screen. Yous watching live aren't going to see that link over there. But yous watching after it's live will see the link. So, anyway, thanks, guys.
For everybody that subscribed to my channel. I really am thankful. I really am.
Sure to do that over there for Red. You're less than 30 away from 1,000, and that's the big deal, is hitting 1,000. So... go help Red out and help him hit that 1,000 out. Kevin Coleman, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming and watching the show. Pete Lodato, awesome, man. Thank you very much. And welcome to MobVlog. And guys, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit that. Be sure to hit the like button, even on your way out of the room. Hit that like button, okay? It helps the video. Get out there. So as you're leaving the channel, hit the like button.
You're sharing it with other people. Every time you hit that like button, you're sharing it with other people.
That's right. More people with your interests will get to see the same video, and hopefully it's new people that haven't seen this channel before, and it helps things get out there. So thanks again, guys. Look on the channel and be sure to hit that little bell, because like I said, either tomorrow or Saturday at 2, we're going to have a video go up, and it's a 1-hour interview with Gary Jenkins, he's an ex-detective on the intelligence squad of Kansas City Police, and he is going to explain how there were 2 streams of skim money coming from Las Vegas to Chicago. Nobody really talks about that much. So
I'm definitely going to tune in because Gary knows a lot.
It is very... I finished the interview. I'm editing it right now, and it's going to be good. So, anyway, thank you guys very much. Philip Wright, good night. Thank you.
The name of my channel is, I see it up here.
Red
What's Red's channel's name? Red Wemette.
And again, there'll be a little card up here, and it's already in the description of the video. I already put a link to Red's channel down in the description. Just look below, swipe through. In that first part of the description, you'll see the link to Red's channel. Go there and hit the subscribe button. All right, guys. Anyhow, it's been a fun Redness Day, this Wednesday afternoon, and I hope you guys are around next Redness Day. And,
thank you for joining us, everyone.
Yeah, 2 p.m.
That's Pacific time.
4 p.m. Central. If you're on Eastern, it's 5 p.m. All right. And if you're in Mountain Time, it's 3.
We ought to have one time zone for the whole country.
Well, the sun will have to be bigger. The Earth will have to come closer to the sun. One of the two for that to happen. But anyway, thank you very much, everyone. It was a pleasure, Red. Thank you again. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for watching MobVlog.